Hello, hi, it is me, it is I, small time Didi, your and these very internet and Akastaha, I'm back, yalla. The girls are complaining. The girls, listen, I'm going to turk on the fence a little bit with this one. I'm going to share TikTok and then come back and have this conversation with you guys about stylists overcharging. And honestly, it's broader than stylists, right? It's almost like any self-employed person that's like providing a service that is deemed not necessarily a luxury, but it is. I think that's what we need to unpack, the fact that this is actually a luxury service and you've convinced yourself that it's not, and that's why you're spazzing. Let's have a look at this and then I'm going to come back and have a chat with you guys.
I'm up to here with the bullshit. Fuck the fan. I'm up to here with the bullshit and I'm going to speak about it. Americans are getting overcharged for stylists and for hair, specifically hair. I'm not speaking about nails, but specifically hair. They are being overcharged to fucking back, and now it's affecting the pricing of our shit because people think that because they're celebrity stylists, they can charge the amount that they're charging. I don't care if an influencer came to get the hair done by you. I really don't care. There should be no reason. Some influencer came on here and spoke about the pricing for her sew-in. Not judging her because she chose to pay that. She didn't have a problem with paying it. She paid $2,000 and something for a sew-in, for a relaxer, a sew-in and a hair treatment, and she brought her own bundles. How does it make sense? How does that make sense? I'm so sorry if you're working in the hair industry and you feel like you should be paid more, because unfortunately that is an industry where people do not earn incredibly ludicrous amounts of money. If you wanted to be in a high earning industry, why don't you go and be in that industry instead of hiking up the prices for things that don't make sense? Just because you're doing a service for influencers does not mean that automatically your prices should be at an insane amount. They're not your target market. Influencers are influencing regular people who want to get services done, who are regular everyday people. Why are your services so expensive? Why are certain services, especially in the beauty industry, so expensive? It doesn't make any sense. You cannot be charging copious amounts of money for the bare minimum. If you wanted to do that, maybe you should have been a lawyer if you wanted to earn 20 grand from a single client. You should have picked the industry that does that instead of going to charge people copious amounts of money and then saying you're paying for my time. In terms of what? In terms of what? Because it's what makes it worse is you guys aren't even friendly. I'm paying for your time and you have a fucking attitude with me. You have an attitude, you make it horrible for us to book the services, you guys take forever to respond, and then you say, and then suddenly you can fit in emergency clients and make TikToks about it, and then worst of all, you don't post people who aren't light-skinned. What is that about? What the fuck? Like, we can't just keep accepting this bullshit. I'm so sorry, but imagine if Woolworths started selling grapes for 3.5 million rand just because Dua Lipa came to South Africa on holiday one time and she decided to buy the fucking grapes. Because you have served a celebrity client before does not mean that your clientele is majoritarily celebrity based, and it does not make sense for you to advertise a service on social media to regular people who are following you, regular people who are boosting your content, who are liking the page, who enjoy the hairstyles, who want the regular people who are interacting with your content, and those people cannot get the services that you're advertising. Stop fucking advertising it then. Make it private and let only influencers request to follow the page and then they can be accepted. Why are you dangling things over people's heads? Nothing should be the price that it is at the moment, and it makes no sense to me and it pisses me the fuck off. Stop that bullshit today. Stop it. Just stop.
Alright, yo, kaningi, kabaya. A lot is happening, is it not? I'm going to check on the fence a little bit here because I see where everybody's coming from a little bit. I see where the hairstylists are coming from, and then I see where the people wanting the services feel like they're being ripped off, and like in part they are, right? But I'll talk about that to the end. I really do need to address you guys first, you guys wanting these services and not understanding why people are charging the way they are. And sometimes, yes, it's ludicrous that people are charging that, but sometimes it isn't. Here's where we went wrong, and the language is very charged for me, in terms of saying things like, if you wanted to have a high earning career, you should have gone into that space. The truth of the matter is, you can create a lane for yourself in any space and make it high earning, provided you get that fucking good at your shit and you're that bitch, and you attach yourself to celebrity, as is the case with the new stylist. It's what they're trying to do, right? Attach themselves to influencers and celebrity so that they can charge you more. I don't believe people are necessarily doing this in order to live lavish. I think they're trying to survive in the same world that you are trying to survive in. But you don't look at it from that angle, because they're not a person to you. They are a service provider. You aren't thinking of this from the point of view that I too need to navigate the same world as you. I have kids as well that I possibly want to put through school, or I want to go back to school and I have fees to pay. And I've put in all this time and years. I've learned how to braid from the time I was 16. I'm now 26. That's 10 years. In any other career, if you've had that kind of experience, you start wanting to have your worth and your value noticed and adequately remunerated. But somehow it doesn't translate when it's your hairstylist or your makeup person. That message doesn't translate to you who wants that service. Why is that? Because of the culture of hair, I believe, right? The culture of black girl hair. Sundays are for hair, right? Like, mom is doing your hair on Sunday, or your cousin is, or your friend, somebody in the clique knows how to do hair, your neighbor knows how to do hair. It's such a easily available thing that doesn't have a price tag attached to it for so long growing up, for most of us anyway. And then when you do decide to go see somebody professional to maybe do a style that the person who's done it for free, who's your cousin, who's like or whatever, when you decide to go and get somebody, a professional, to do maybe braids for you because your cousin can't do braids properly, it's Christmas or whatever, there's a little bit of money attached to it, right? And so we grow up thinking this service is cheap or free, right? It's free, and if it's not free, then it better be cheap, because your whole life it's been free, right? Your cousin's been doing it for free, and then Mamang Mang never charged too much. But at no point have you stopped to look at Mamang Mang's life, right? Miss Mavis, who's been braiding your hair, she's been in the same dingy fucking shop since you were 6, right? Her basin is like all rickety like that. You gotta lean over. There's no water. She has to use like a bucket to do whatever it is that there's been no improvement, right, to your experience in the salon or the quality of life of this person rendering the service. But you aren't wired to look at things from that lens, because you want what you want, and what you want is your fucking hair done, and at the nothing. Really, you want it done for free, some of you, or next to nothing. You don't want to feel a pinch, because your idea is that, oh, if she gets like 15 people per day, she'll have this much. Chances are she's not going to get 15 something people per day. And her body, physically, she can't take 5, 10, 15 heads doing braids per day to make up that amount. But there's a disrespect, right, and a lack of humanity in how we view other people's career paths and their choices. And it's like, if you're gonna go down that path, then understand that you are just not gonna have the nice things. And the girls are saying, well, actually, fuck you. I do want the things that you have. I too want to be able to pay for medical aid. How I do that is I invest in my craft. I get really, really, really good at this thing, right? And I make coming to me a must-have for the beauty girls. And there's a price attached to that. There just is. You also need to realize that with things like nails, hair, baking, like these kinds of things where you're on your feet or the nail girls. I know of a nail tech on Instagram, and I can't think of her right now. She's not a South African girl, but she took a break from doing nails, and she's like, I've been doing them since I was like a teenager, and it got to a point where my body just couldn't anymore. The strain gets to be too much. Your body is the business. It's the vessel that makes the money, and when it's not doing well, everything comes to a halt. We don't all want to scale the same. That's the other thing that you need to remember. Not every stylist is looking to like have like a beauty salon and have people paying for chairs and they think, because maybe they're not business minded like that. They just happen to be good at this thing. So what they want to do is maybe do house calls and be able to charge more, because that's a luxury service that they're offering. You all want these services, the convenience, the experience, the expertise. You also want to be posted or want to be able to say to people, I got my hair done by so and so. But at no point does it register with you that it comes with a price tag, that it might just be out of reach. You're all fine paying for overpriced alcohol in the club that you know this bottle is actually 400 rands. But when they're making you pay 300 rands in the club, you're okay with that. And you're okay with that mostly because you don't have a face that you can associate with that bottle. There's no person that you think about when you look at that bottle of whatever champagne that it is. You're not like, oh, so and so is ripping me off. No. But me, who looks like you, when I decide this is how much I'm charging for the set of nails, you look me up and down and you decide this is how much my value is. How dare I ask for a little bit more? You've decided Didi deserves this much. And let's be fair now. Let's be fair. There's a lot of things you all don't complain about that you pay for, where first of all, it's all a fucking construct and it's all made up, right? The value of the bag is not the actual value of the bag. It's what they've decided the value of the bag is. You know that. You know it. And then you go and buy it still, right? You go and buy it and you're like, oh, I can resell it for however much, and I can do this for however much. A lot of you don't even know the avenues for resale for you to get the most amount for that item. The belts, right? Because you want people to see the little logo, the little monogram, like you want people to see that. And you go and buy it because a person you don't know from wherever decided this is the value of this thing. But me, if I'm doing your hair and I decide I'm tired when I do this, I can only afford to do 2 people per day, and I'm not even guaranteed those 2 clients. So I actually must maximize how much I'm able to make per client, provided my level of skill actually matches up to what it is I'm trying to charge here, right? Then there's the complaining of people not posting you. Not the colorist stylists that decide that they're not posting you because you are not light-skinned, or the girls who have like featurism issues and texturism issues, and they're not posting you because you are just like a black girl through and through and through, and you have your nose like me and your coils like me, and it's like you aren't like Instagrammable, so they don't post you. That's a different conversation. Like the colorism stuff, different conversation, right? But some of you go to these stylists because you want them to post you because you think it's gonna boost your numbers. You're like, oh, so and so went to this person but she got posted, and then her followers, she gained a couple of followers. I'm also gonna go do my hair by this person. But the truth of the matter is the service doesn't come with a post. It actually doesn't, and you're all delusional to think that it does. The nails people, like, oh, you never post my nails. Where did I say and post? Like, the service comes with I do your nails and post. You never post my cake. What? How is that part of this? Is my social media. I decide if I don't want to do this kind of sets, right? The nails that you wanted done. I took the job because I can do it, you're gonna be happy. But it's not part of my aesthetic. I like pastels, right? Like that's the brand I'm pushing. I'm pushing like very soft and femme and whatever it is that I'm pushing on here. And then you come and you get a really bright colored set and I still do a good job. I'm not fucking posting it. It's gonna throw my fucking feet out of whack. I don't care that you're like, oh, but What about that? Like, where does it say it comes with a post? But you want to be able to telegraph to people, hey, look, I can afford that service. Hey, look, I can afford that girl. My head got touched by so and so, right? Because somehow it like says something to you about your value. Let's be real honest about some of the things that we're complaining about, because some of the amounts that you guys complain about, I'm like, you really don't give a shit about people having a livable wage. Some of the stuff you're complaining about, the people who are breeding it, you see their kids running around, you see them not living lavish, right? If somebody's by the side, if you don't want to pay that money, first of all, there are people on the side of the road. You could go sit there and, like, in the scorching sun, right, on a hot day, and take in whatever few, you can do that. You actually have the option to not go to somebody who's having to pay for a store or whatever, a chair in a salon, or somebody who's paying for rent, or somebody who's there to renovate their space in their home and put into it and make sure that your stay there is comfortable. You're not holding your bag like this, and you feel safe, and you don't think you're gonna get mugged, and you're not putting your phone under your shirt because if you don't want to pay for that level of comfort and security, you have the option to not do that. You actually do. Go to Mamang Mang, who was doing your hair from when you were 6, so she can lay your wig all janky and shit. That's one of your options. It actually is. I don't know if you know that. But you don't want that. You want the services of that girl who's put in all that work and all that time, probably had to go to another person and pay for a little short course to learn how to do this, invested in her craft. You want all of that for next to nothing. And then you're gonna tell us you should have gone into a high earning career. You should have learned how to do your fucking hair. Truly. See me? I know when my nails are janky right now. The last set I had was the one with the pink tip, the pink French tip, right? I'm in Limpopo, right? I'm in a very rural province in a very small town. Nails are, people won't pay a certain amount for nails. They'll feel like it's too much. This particular person whom I went to do my nails by is dubbed as, oh, she's so expensive. Everybody says that about her in town. That set was almost, if I can find a picture of my nails, I'll post it. It's a basic set, really. There was no embellishments or anything like that. Just like an overly kind of shape with a pink French tip, if you would like, and then a streak of a little bit of gold. I think I paid close to 400 rands for it. 380, I can't remember, guys. If I remember, I will add it. If I find the picture. That's considered expensive here. I'm a person who's in business and trying to make things make sense for me on the financial end. I can tell it's not. Like, it is, because I'm comparing it to somebody else who's starting out. This lady is very experienced. She's been doing nails for like forever and ever and ever. She should be able by now to say, I'm charging this. She's put in back into her workspace, try to make it cute and comfortable. You can take little cute pictures and stuff if that's what you want to do. She's put back into her business. So you see what it is that she's trying to do. You see she's trying to provide an experience for the people coming to her. It's a price attached to that. It is. It just is. I don't know what to tell you. You know? Now, that being said, I have a soft spot for the girlies, clearly, because I'm also a person who's in business and stuff. So the rest of you can go bye, because me and my people need to have a meeting now. All right, bye. Okay, now that everybody's gone, some of you bitches are girl bossing a little too close to the sun. Honestly, literally in this girl's video that I attached here, by the way, this is not an attack on her. She just happened to be a person who was able to express herself in a way that I thought made sense and put a lot of points into a video that I've heard from different people and stuff. So it's not about her, because it's clearly not just her take. A lot of people are agreeing with her in the comments, and I see where they're coming from. Some of you shit is janky. Some of you don't even have the skills to charge it where you're charging. Some of you are also doing this thing where I'm seeing in the comments, people are like, oh, when I got to the salon, they said it's this much. Why don't you have your prices up somewhere? Maybe you don't want to have them on social media because you don't want to deal with people commenting nasty stuff. But as soon as somebody walks in, why isn't there a standard price list for this is this and that is this and this is this and that is this? Now, some of you are doing too much. Quite a lot of you are doing a lot, actually. She's not all the way off when she talks about you all wanting to be these high earners and wanting to make like exorbitant amounts of money per client. I understand that you cannot look like, don't treat your clients like a mark, which is what a lot of you are doing. You're trying to hustle them with an attitude too, right? And part of that attitude comes from you knowing that your pricing is fucking bullshit. That's what that attitude is. You're trying to intimidate the client, right? If you have an attitude and you're like, because you know they're about to question your pricing as to how did we get to a point where this is how much you're charging for hair and I'm still bringing my own bundles, right? Like, how did you? I deal with food, right? Food costing is not a guessing game. Like, there's a formula. Like, you bought this, you worked this out. I don't know how stylists charge, how you determine. And that's what makes pricing such things hard, because a lot of it is determining what your worth is based off how much you feel you've put into yourself and say, that's how I feel I want to get paid, that's my price, and that's that, right? Because how much can you really say? Like, unlike food that's like measured to the gram, you can't measure your foundation and say, I'm using 2 pumps on your face, right? And there's like 30 pumps in the bottle, and then if I divide it the way we work out food at this, you can't do that. So a lot of it is just saying, oh, okay, if you want to cut crease, it's this much, and I'm the best in town at doing a cut crease, so I'm gonna get the most from this. And I get it. It's the best thing to do. If you're especially good at something, or you see a trend coming and you get on it really quickly, you have to charge as much as possible before all the other girls catch up in that window. And then while the girls are catching up and they're struggling and you're the best in that window, the best thing you can do is actually offer lessons, because they're going to catch up anyway, and make a little bit more money in that space. Because the other thing you need to understand is that we don't discuss enough about, and I've seen another stylist talk about this, she's a hairstylist. The body can't do this forever. It's a very short career, and I don't think people talk about that. Styling and makeup, things that require you to nails, that hunched thing that you're doing, it takes a toll on your body. Even the seamstress, it takes a bit, you know, but you must actually invest in yourself in order to justify the cost. It needs to make sense, you guys. Some of the prices that you guys are charging, I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to do that. I'm about to learn how to do nails. I threaten to learn how to do nails, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to, because first of all, I shouldn't wear nails. But that's not the point. That's not the conversation that we're having right now. I shouldn't wear nails. But I really do feel that some of you are doing too much. I do. And some of you are doing too much because you see your peers doing it, but you don't understand that it's levels to this shit and you're not on CC's level. Like, you're not at that stage yet, but you want to be charging there, and you say that's the industry standard, but you are entry level. The stank attitude stuff, they're not checking your phones when people are trying to get a hold of you. I went through not being able to check my phone, right? And I was trying to communicate to people, hey, my admin days are this and that, because on this day I'm physically unable, because I'm working. Like, my work is physically demanding. I can't stop and sit down and answer my phone, because this is another thing that takes time. I had to get somebody to start answering that phone and replying back to people. If you're gonna be charging people things like that, get an assistant. Make people understand what it is that they're paying for. They're paying for that assistant, that convenience that they know, to be like, communicated to in a fashion that is appropriate, right? Like the response time makes sense. She's talking about you guys not replying and then replying at the last minute possible, saying you're squeezing in, and then you want to add in a squeeze in fee. You guys are pinching the girls. You are scamming. You are. You actually are. As some of you that makes sense. Where I'm like, okay, you're the best in town and you are just actually good at your shit. You have to get in your car and drive and go and do this thing. This person wants a house call. It's money attached to that. It really is. But I hope we're on the same page. A lot of you might just want to learn how to do your own hair and do your own whatever it is that you need to do, or go to Mamang Mang and stop trying to deal with the Instagram girls because you want to be posted, because that's why you go over there. But that's that. I hope I haven't. Okay, I don't care. Mwah. Bye, Yala.